Good evening, everyone. My name is Amadou Kouyate, and this evening I'll be sharing a little with you about the mending culture and some of the instruments that I'm playing. And so, I tend to prefer when it feels more like, you know, I'm dealing with friends and family than when I'm just performing, right? So we're gonna all make it really informal in a second, So feel free in a little bit if you have a question or if you just want to chat it up. I'm open to it. But just for now, let me play some music for you guys, and I hope you enjoy. All right. Yeah, mosquitoes are getting So let me take a second away from I guess what I'm doing and let you know what it is that I'm playing. this this instrument here is called a kora. Can I hear you say kora? And the kora has 21 strings. Okay, how many strings does it have? And the kora is an instrument that are played by oral historians inside of the Manding culture of West Africa. These oral historians are known as Diali. Let me say Diali, right? So when Diali are reciting history, when they are serving in their role and responsibility for the community, there's a certain orchestra of instruments that they use uh, when they're serving their purpose through music, right? And the kora is the baby of that orchestra. But even as the baby, it's been around more than 1,200 years. So it kind of gives you an idea of just how long the task and responsibility has been. Um, it's made from a gourd, a calabash. And if you're not familiar with a calabash is kind of like a cousin's, uncle's, niece's nephew to a pumpkin, right? So the calabash, when they put it in the sun, it doesn't rot like the pumpkins here. It dries out. And then they cover it with skin, cow skin. Okay? So again, the name of this instrument is kora. Let me say kora. And how many strings does it have? See, you guys, y'all on point. All right. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna take a second away from the kora because I also brought another instrument that I like to be able to share with you guys. If y'all are up to it. Oh, I made them. Yeah. A part of the responsibility, well, at least in the traditional sense, like if you were a person who played an instrument, you didn't just construct it because you're the person that played it. There's a process and energy that uh, governs the instrument, and you had to be, if you were a practitioner, if you were somebody who was tasked with the responsibility, you had to understand that aspect of it. And in the creation of each instrument, there are a lot of factors and a lot of variables to consider energetically. So what happens is before we build anything, you have to study and you learn about the spirit of what you're dealing with, and then once uh, in a jelly tradition, like because it's an orchestra of instruments, like the way it will work is you become bound to that energy or that spirit that can help you serve your purpose the best. So in my household, we played kora. There are other instruments, but the kora was the one that called me, and my dad and my brother. So we have a lot of kora players in our family, but it's not the only instrument. But yeah, you have to build it. Back in the now, you can order one online, I suppose. Like, I mean, you know, I'm not knocking it, but the reason we built that instruments is because, like I said, there's an energy uh, that that possesses each instrument, right? And as we all know, like energy, it's best to be accountable and understanding of the energy that we move within the world, right? So that brings me to this instrument that I have here. This instrument is called djembe. Let me hear you say djembe. And djembe uh, is a popular drum now. Um, but even the term djembe is really truncated for a concept. This concept ankaje ankabe, which means bringing people together for purpose, right? This instrument has its own technology, its own language, just like most instruments. But I figured I'd bring it because a lot of people like djembe. But we'll talk a little bit more about this after I play, I guess. Again, name of this instrument is djembe. Uh, so the way djembe works, I can't tell you though all of the stuff about how it works, but what I can tell you is that djembe is based off of a language, right? The way that we play it, you have your three primary notes, and you have many different secondary notes that are going to change in variable like dialect, right? So, for example, somebody from New England might be speaking the same language as someone from New Orleans, right? But there's certain intricacies that make it unique to its region, like dialect. Those primary notes you're gonna find everywhere that people play djembe traditionally, right? Your primary notes you have are bass, tone, and then slap. So you have bass, tone, slap, right? So let me see who's paying attention. Just see. Let's play a little game of let me see who's paying attention. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. I think I'm making it a little too easy. Let me mix this up a little bit. I'm like I know I do this, but I'm like you guys are a little bit too comfortable. All right, let's shut up. All right, let me stop. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Djembe and kora are connected to a living, breathing culture, one that is rich of tradition, that is still evolving. Right? These instruments are shared by mending people, right, throughout West Africa, because the world is growing now throughout the world. All right. So we are going to learn the same way that we learn back home, right? We use a something called proverbs, right? Proverbs teach us a lot about life. And one song we're gonna sing teaches us a particular proverb, right? So the proverb that we're gonna be singing is he who breaks the hammock does not sleep well, right? Which is like, the allegory is wonderful, right? Like you can use the metaphor in so many different ways. But when they talk about he who breaks the hammock does not sleep well, they're talking about the importance of taking care of things that are important to you, of people that are important to you, of relationships that you have, right? So the way that they would do it, if they say Lama biale jojute, and then what I want you to do is I'm gonna say Lama biale jojute. I want you to clap and say Kole bidona. Let me he say Kole bidona. So I want to see you go Kole bidona, but you gotta clap before you say it. You're gonna go Kole bidona. So let's try. I'm gonna say Kole bidona. I'm gonna clap before, and then I want to see you guys do it. I want to see everybody here go Kole bidona. Kole bidona. Beautiful. So right. So if I say Lama biale jojute, you're gonna go Kole bidona. So let's try it. Lama biale jojute. Lama biale jojute. La mabiale jojute, la mabiale jojute, la mabiale jojute, la mabiale jojute, la mabiale jojute. So the reason I'm having you repeat it, right? There's a very interesting phenomena about information, right? When people need to retain information, for some reason, when we add the element of music, it tends to find a place in the mind, right? Plus, you have repetition, you have all of these things, when people working together and doing things together. But the notion is that if we are using music to inject the values that are necessary for a community to thrive, and we instill it in the little ones, like who are there, and we're getting it from our elders who are there as well. Then the community will share an understanding. For example, in La Mabiale Jojute, like when they're saying and they're saying he who breaks the hammock does not sleep well. We're teaching everybody the value of taking care of those things that are important, taking care of one another, right? Which is an important element of how the culture works, right? The idea that we just don't create music arbitrarily, but we create it and we've created to assist us in holding on to those things about our community that will help the community grow, that will help the community become better for future generations, right? Which will bring me back to this instrument that I play. Now, earlier I talked to you about people who were given the responsibility of being oral historians inside of that community. You know, let's say, who can remember the name of the oral historian? See, I know I like you guys. Jelly. Now, let me tell you the reason. I know it's funny when I was a kid, whenever I say jelly, or I tell people I'm jelly, when you're a kid, everybody starts cracking up. 'Cause, we say jelly here means something completely different in English, right? You know, but uh, as jelly, we're taught that the power in this technology is also connected to the power in serving the community with the technology, right? So you make sure that even if you play, you don't entertain, like we're informing, we're sharing, we're creating an atmosphere where other people can connect to other people as well. You know, did I do something? I think I messed it up. I'm sorry. My bad. My fault. Well, I guess I'm playing the other chord then. All right. You guys gotta forgive me, man. It's like 140 degrees up here. You know what's crazy? Like a couple of days ago, I literally came back. I wasn't home. Like I wasn't like my family lives in Senegal and in Mali, right? But I was on the continent, right? I was in Lagos, which is in Nigeria, and I'm gonna tell you, it is hotter in the DMV than it is in Lagos right now, and it is tripping me out. It is not even a comfortable high here. It's like I lost about 7 pounds of like straight water since I've been here. But I'm thankful, every day to be able to be present, right? No, you didn't have to do that for me. I appreciate it.